Hey everybody out there, hope you guys are all having a great week. Thanks for tuning in to episode 6. This is going to be a great episode, a little bit different than the first 5 here, where actually 2 weeks ago I recorded a phone call with my good friend Stacey Campese, who is a life and leadership coach, and she helps young professionals challenge their status quo by finding career confidence and clarity. So she shares a lot of the same values, a lot of the same missions and ideas behind the niche room, but she is probably one of the best listeners out there, and I would highly recommend talking with somebody like her, or her even, not to obviously promote her too much, but I spent an hour talking with her, and she was really one of the ones that helped me get to where I am a year ago, to where I was writing and stressed and balancing a lot between my full-time job and personal and professional life and things like that, and she helped me kind of provide some clarity of what to focus on and when to focus on it, and how to kind of set those goals and realize my own values and what I was looking for in a career to help me find my niche. This is going to be broken down in probably about 2 or 3 parts, so you're listening to episode 6, part 1, and the next part will be released in a few days, if not next week. But this is about 20 to 25 minutes long, and you know, the one question she asked in the beginning of the call, and you'll kind of see this if you listen to the next couple episodes, is she asked Kev, like, what's your stress level at right now? So this was about 2 weeks ago when I had a lot going on, a lot on my plate between the book and 2 or 3 clients and just some other work that we had out there. And I told her it was, about 7 or 8. And you'll hear throughout the call though that she kind of provided some clarity and some strategy for me to actually get that down within an hour to under a 5. And I'm really, really interested to kind of share this because I think it's going to be very transparent. You'll hear a lot of emotion in my voice. I'm going to be straight up honest with you that I talk about different client work, the book, I talk about the ups, the downs, I talk about cash flow, I talk about what it really is to be an entrepreneur. So again, I know this is going to be about 20 minutes long, but I hope whether you're commuting or on a run or you're listening to this on your couch at night, I really think you're going to find interest in this. And what I please ask is that I think this is one of the most special podcasts. This is one of the reasons I started this, and when I decided to have a phone call with Stacey, I said, hey, why don't we record this? I think it'll bring value not only to both of us, but to the audience, to those of you listening. So take a listen. Again, this is going to be about the first 21 minutes long, and feel free to tweet your questions because we are going to release the next few parts in the coming days and weeks. So we'll probably start with episode 6 here with the first 20 minutes and then break down the other 2 parts. So thank you so much for listening. Without further ado, we're going to jump in to episode 6 with a phone call with Stacey Campese and all the ups and downs and how to help me out with everything I have going on as a solopreneur.
So I'm excited that we have the opportunity to have another session. You've had so much going on in the past few weeks and months. So what can we talk about tonight that would make you feel like it's a win?
Yeah, I don't know. So I guess one of the reasons I reached out to you again is, I think April, May, and June just flew by, and I had a lot of good wins and a lot of good things happening, and with that, I think has come a lot more pressure and a lot more workload and a lot more kind of balancing multiple priorities and trying to figure out what the priorities are, right? And so for me, I could sense myself getting somewhat a touch of anxiety, a touch of stress, but I also think I've found some proactive ways to deal with it, but I knew that if I don't kind of talk through this with you or with somebody that it could definitely add up. So I think, maybe right now, just for me, I feel like there's so much on my plate, and I feel like I'm on 24/7, and I don't know. I think sometimes I need to feel okay, taking some time off to myself or feeling if I don't get to something. But the other times I feel like there's so much to do. I don't at the end of my days, sometimes I don't feel like I've gotten anything accomplished.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that you're not, essentially a one-man show right now. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So, you have some interns and, I'm sure Courtney helps out here or there, but at the end of the day, it's on you to get that to-do list completed. And it sounds like there's so much going on. And to be fair, you've had so much growth in your organization within the last few months that it makes a lot of sense that you're kind of feeling like I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
Or even when I do, I'm starting somewhere, but it's never ending.
Yeah. I mean, you don't realize until you live it, but like everybody says, like when you're an entrepreneur, when you're working for yourself, like there's a million things to be doing. You don't know which one to be doing. And then I think, right now I've spent like every other month. So like May was focused on outreach and growth and bringing in some new business. June was obviously more of the book. And now this month again has been more, we're focusing on more outreach, both on the niche movement side and the digital side. And so like I'm trying to like, deal with the ebbs and flows of like, both professional success, financial, just the ebbs and flows of money coming in and things like that, and not getting like too happy or optimistic, and also not being too paranoid or pessimistic. So like those are the two things right now happening in my head. I don't know which we want to talk about, where this goes, but like kind of the never-ending to-do list, and then like the ebbs and flows of my business, and like just trying to be okay with what's going on.
Yeah, and that's part of the entrepreneurship, right, is making your highs less high and your lows less low. And so how can we find kind of consistent middle ground where even if you're in the middle of a tornado, right, and then some months it's going to, favorable, it's going to plop you in a pot of gold, and other months it's going to, there's going to be less money coming in. So it sounds like kind of seeing that, I'm knowing that I'm okay, we're okay, regardless of what is happening financially is really important.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, you said that you're feeling really stressed, and obviously this never-ending to-do list and this kind of, ebb and flow of money. What else is going on that you feel is contributing to your stress levels rising?
I mean, if I really look at the last, 7 months, personally, I've taken time to myself, but, I really, even if, if Courtney and I have done these small trips, weekend trips, Florida here and there, I'm still plugged in and still doing work, because at the end of the day, I had my clients, and, you can't take a vacation necessarily from your clients, but, I never really have officially shut off in the last 7 to 8 months. And, I'm not working 24/7, but, I like to get up early, I like to do stuff, but then at the end of the day, some nights I feel like I still get enough done, or the weekends I'll be checking in on stuff, but I haven't taken time for myself, and I also haven't, part of me, with saving money and being more frugal, I haven't, part of me is do I reward myself with, and again, not with frivolous things, but I just feel like I've been giving and outreach and growing and taking care of everything else, then I think that's the third part. Just I feel like I haven't really taken a lot of time to myself, because I'm so worried about I got to keep moving forward.
Yeah, because if you're constantly on the go and you're constantly, putting your businesses in front of yourself, and you're not doing the basics in terms of, refreshing and recharging, it's only a matter of time before you're burning out. And it sounds like you might experience that now. Sure that we're catching it before, you get so deep into it that it's you just want to, say screw everything and hibernate for a while. So what would have to happen tonight, Kevin, for you to walk away from this call feeling like you've gotten what you need?
I think right now is kind of trying to, when we talked last summer, right? When, we had a few phone calls in the beginning, and then I think we had a phone call after about a year ago this time, when I launched my Kickstarter campaign, and you were you have that going on, you have your full-time job at Rutgers, and then I also started thinking about the digital stuff, and you're well, maybe you have to put that on hold until you, obviously I left in Rutgers, and then I could focus more on that, but I think right now, if, in the next 40 minutes or so, if I had some clarity of just what my priorities are, or what I should think they are, or be okay with the other things, or almost like what we talked about, I guess, back in March or April with the book, trying to come up with kind of a game plan, or kind of what's achievable in, 40, 50 hours a week or the time that I have. I think for me that would be a start.
Okay, great. So, all right, so let's take some time and let's focus on making that game plan and prioritizing and see what we come up with.
Yeah.
How does it sound? So I'd love for you on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the least and 10 being the highest, tell me what's your stress level like right now?
I would say like 6.5 to 7.5, and it's not this. I would rate that stress level completely different a year ago when I was working, at Rutgers. So I'm stressed, but I'm also like I don't feel it like in my body, but I'm stressed. Like there's things that I wake up, I'm thinking about my business, but not in a negative way. Like I'm like I can't wait to get stuff done, but I'd say like 6.5 to 7.5.
Okay. And so it's interesting, right? Because there's good stress, there's bad stress, and there's this kind of stress you're dealing with where it's kind of not either. So how would you define it? Like, how do you know you're stressed right now?
Like I just said, I don't think I've, besides working out 3-4 days a week, like I haven't really taken time to myself. Fridays I kind of work a half day, but my mind is still on. Like, I also, when I look at my to-do list, it's like, all right, I still need to update my personal site to reflect my latest 3 months of work. I want to still get closer to updating my nicheman site, which then in turn allows my interns and I to do more business outreach and brand myself. We obviously have the day-to-day stuff with the niche movement and the content we're putting out and the people we're connecting with. And then we have, right now one of my clients is pretty busy. And then just the day-to-day of I have 2 amazing interns right now, but it's like, making sure I provide the clarity that they need to be successful. And it's different. Like having them, my work ethic has probably increased tenfold.
Mm-hmm.
But now, I have to make sure when they're getting there, I'm there, and I'm, so yeah, now I have other people around me.
Mm-hmm.
That's an issue. But then I think the other part of the stress is looking at, when I do these 3-6 month engagements with clients, it's like making sure, when that ends, like what else do I have? Am I renegotiating with them? Am I doing more work for them, or am I bringing on a new client? So I think that's a little bit in my mind because I'm kind of in that phase with 2 of my clients where that'll be coming up, and if already it has come up. So there's those are 4 main areas.
Okay. So this might sound like a silly question, but when you're stressed, where do you feel it? Like physically in your body?
A lot of times in my shoulders and back, I think. But and even that's, I remember leaving long days, stressful days from Rutgers and just feeling drained. Right now, I'm manageable. I mean, even just today, I'm a little tired, but I think that's where it sits. Yeah.
All right. So what's your body telling you about your pace? I mean, are you rolling out of bed, ready to face each day and excited for it, or are you feeling like it's really tough to get up in the morning?
No, that's I think you and I talk about. I'm a morning person, and it's weird, and that comes and goes. But when I get a good night's rest, if I'm asleep by 11, I'm usually waking up between 5:30 and 6:30, and as soon as I get up, I know I'm not going back to sleep. And sometimes Courtney will be like, all right, try to fall asleep, but I can't. And but that's when I like to read. I if I get up and it's nice, I'm definitely gonna go for a bike ride. But it's not I'm stressed. It's another day. I'm more cool. Let's get to the office. Let's eat something healthy. Let's go for a bike ride, work out, and then on the train I'll kind of type out or mentally type out like my to-do list or what, you know, I need to talk about with my clients or interns. But it's weird because like I wake up and it's like I think it's excitement and enthusiasm, but it's like, let's go. And then by the end of the day, like right now, like I'm not thinking or being proactive about my company right now, because I don't think I'm a night person.
Okay. So in the morning you're actually really excited because
I'm excited, and sometimes when I'm like running late to work, or like if I'm like not there at a certain time, not that I have a benchmark where I need to be there, but like if I'm not, like if we're like lollygagging to get there, like I get stressed a little bit about that, but like I do want to get there. But then all of a sudden, next thing you know, it's 3, 4, 5 o'clock, and it's like, you know, that's what I feel like every day and every week is coming and going, and it's like, even though we create these to-do lists every Monday, like I still feel like there's just more that I just either haven't touched and that's working an 8-hour day. Like part of me is like, I look at perceptions and other people talking and other thought leaders like Gary Vaynerchuk and all these other people that are in the WeWork systems, like, should I be working 12, 14 hours a day? Should I be coming home and then working again at night? But I also don't know if I want that intensity of lifestyle right now. That's why I'd say my stress is at a 6 or a 7.
Mm-hmm.
But part of me is like, should I be, you know, if I put in the extra hours, you know, would I feel a little bit better?
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you think? If you worked a 12-hour day, would you walk away thinking, man, I'm tired, but my to-do list is complete? Or do you feel like there'd still be stuff left on the to-do list?
I mean, some of the stuff I think is simple stuff, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if it would be like right now, I don't think like in the evenings and stuff, my head is like completely clear to do some of the stuff. So I don't know if it would be quality. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the answer probably is, if you're saying at the end of the day you're tired, right? And you literally can't wrap your brain around these things, that's extra time. It's not really going to do much for you, except for add on to your guilt. Like, oh my gosh, now I've worked a 12-hour day, I've ignored Courtney, I haven't been home to, you know, play with Luke and Owen, and it's now, you know, dinner time and I have to go straight to bed, and I still have gotten nothing done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would it make your stress? You know, right now you rated it a 6.5 to 7.5. What would have to happen to get it down to a 5?
I think the two big things are, you know, I keep putting off this, like we've slowly redeveloped my Nichement website, but with all the things that I'm developing and content I'm creating and where I see it is going, both as a brand as well as like a site to host all this stuff, that's something that kind of is like, I just need to get this done. But like the chicken and egg syndrome is like, there's so much WordPress that I know, and there's so much time that I can sit down and do it. And it's like one of those things that it feels like the littlest thing takes the longest time because you're not skilled. But the egg part of it is like, I have somebody that I could hire. I've talked to the guy, but like I also, the money that I've allocated potentially, or like he said what we could do this for, I kind of have the money, but I also can't justify that cost right now, right? So I think that's one big one. And because I know also if I get that done, like it's just going to continue to open up and move forward, just like the book did. It's not like a waterfall. Like it's just, and then the second thing is my goal by the end of the month or end of August is to like have a third reoccurring client, at least for the next 3 to 6 months. It's like if I just found out today that I got a conference to book my services for like photo and video at the end of August here in DC, which is cool, but like that's like a 4-day gig. It'll be a flash in the pan, but like if I knew I had another client in the back that I could work with that I was into, I think that would release some stress, even if I had some leads. So
Because what would having another client in the pipeline give you that you don't have now?
Couple of reasons I'm looking to bring on a new client is because I think I've learned a lot from both the social media side of what I've already done. I've learned a lot on how to be better at client and account services with my clients and set up accurate expectations and scope of works. So I think it's like I almost want a new at-bat and a new thing for that. And then, obviously for me, the third thing is, financially, like I would be able to either keep on my interns or hire a new intern or, my goals, actually probably might have been another discussion, but like some of my goals on June 1st when I had my intern start was like, X amount of speaking engagements. My North Star right now is to like hire somebody full-time potentially at the end of the year. Because I want to give that opportunity to somebody else and like build that business, grow my office space, grow my brand, both the niche movement and myself. So like try to find ways to be recognized. That's what I think an extra client would give me is that kind of like financial freedom to be able to build the business.
Okay. So it sounds like money really here is a reoccurring theme, right? In terms of having the financial freedom to worry less.
Yeah.
Also really, it sounds like if I had this contract, I knew money was coming in, I could work less hours because I wouldn't need to constantly be looking for solidifying new contracts.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess part of it's, I don't, whether it's working less hours or I feel like more efficiently or more like where I want to continue to go and like, and yeah, like that, being an entrepreneur, the same thing what we were talking about is like when you're, there's a million things to do. It's also like no one ever told me that the other tough part is like sometimes chasing down money or like figuring out what your budget's going to be and what's going to come first, right? Mm-hmm. And like those are just things I'm learning where you're not getting paid every other Friday or the 1st and the 15th of the month. And so that's the other thing is making sure you have your runway, your cash flow, and what you're going to do. And so yeah, that's a little bit of I'm comfortable and we're everything's working out, but like that's definitely probably a little bit.
So let's say that money wasn't an object, meaning that you had 5 clients, you had more clients than you had to do with. Like their waiting list for you was 10 years long. And there wasn't this fear. Fear didn't exist around money. How would your priorities and what you're working on change?
I can say right now, just like even from the niche women side, that like I think we're doing some amazing things. We're putting out we're putting out new pieces of content almost every day. And it's just cool to see the audience and the tribe grow and the potential to like work with more schools, organizations and things like that. And like I know I'm onto something. So I think it would allow more of that. It would also my big thing, what we're doing with the digital side is like what I'm really selling the storytelling side is like if you want to be an authentic and genuine company, or if you want to have like remarkable content and connect and grow your audience to grow your business, like this, I'm your guy, right? So like that would also allow me just to focus more on like really good pieces of content and really good strategy. So I think, and that would also then allow me to have a little bit more staff and a little bit more help, and we'd be able to do that stuff. And right now I just feel like we're being successful, but it's also like every day just flies by. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does. It makes total sense. So what I'm hearing is that not having this fear or coming from this place where money is a driver, right? If that was taken care of and you were secure financially in terms of knowing where the next check is coming That what that would do would allow you to actually do what you love to do, which is be creative, do the content, get your message out there, really get in touch with, you know, who you are and the mission and the vision of both of your businesses, and create some really awesome workshops and programs and blog posts and really kind of get in the trenches, so to speak, with your audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how would having the ability to focus on this creativity bring your business to where your business is, I should say, to where you want them to be? So you mentioned that, you know, okay, one would be that you feel like it would be more efficient, right, because you'd be actually focusing on the content as opposed to other stuff. But what else? How else would it make it kind of your ideal situation?
I mean, like one of the things you just mentioned is like, you know, the idea where like if you had 5 clients or you had people that were like wanting to work with you, like I'm so young and like I you know, I have to put it in perspective. I've only been doing this 7 months, and like I'm very fortunate, very lucky at the success I've had so far, but like I'm still in that like no one knows who I am yet. Like so it's like I've had a few referrals so far, which is good, but like I think I'm still in that stage of like, you know, I would love to get to that point where there is that tipping point where it's like the people want to work with me because of X, Y, and Z. And, you know, I've only had, you know, 4 monthly clients. I've had a bunch of freelance gigs, but I think where a lot of my stress and openness would kind of come out to focus more on the creative side and the content side is, if I didn't have to worry about not chasing is the wrong word, but like if I didn't have to worry about growth in my business every month or every day or every other month, whatever my strategy is, like I think that would be different. But I also know that I'm only 7 months in. This could change in a year. Like, I don't know.
All right. I can't thank you guys again enough for tuning into this first part of the podcast with Stacy. You heard us talk about what's been going on with me, about the different stresses of cash flow and chasing down money and the niche and the actual really good success, and now how I'm trying to capitalize on it and grow this tribe, because I love so many of you and what you guys have done to support the niche movement. So the next parts of this are going to kind of talk about me being my own best marketing tool. You know, I talked a little bit about maybe bringing on another client, doing some outreach, and how the best way to do that. And I really think it'll open up your eyes to yourself that sometimes you yourself are going to be the best marketing tool, but Stacy kind of gets me to that point. So please tune back for episode 7. Hopefully to release this on Thursday. I am traveling this week, so if not, we'll get you this next episode next Monday or Tuesday on August 3rd or 4th. Again, thanks so much for listening. Follow us at The Niche Movement and thenichemovement.com, or you can email me at kevin@thenichemovement.com. And again, tweet us your questions. If you want to find out a little bit more about Stacy Campisi, you can check out her website, which is slccoaching.net. So that's Stacy Campisi at slccoaching.net. Thanks so much.